I guess your friendship with Dark is now officially over.
No, I love Dark. Dark's awesome. He gave us the best interview. It was so good.
All right. Getting into the speaking of good interviews, do you think it was up there with the other interview from yesterday, the Rainer? And we have Hero there, spawning in the top right of Glittering Ashes.
And his opponent spawning down on the bottom left for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Give it up for Dark in the yellow. I mean, no one can match the charisma and comedic timing of Rainer's microphone. Absolutely just the funniest thing. I couldn't believe it was so perfectly timed every time. It was like literally right as he was about to say something, and it just kept cutting it off. It couldn't have been planned better.
I believe Zombie Grub's a Zerg player, isn't she?
No, she is a Terran player, but she does actually play all of the races.
Oh, okay.
But a predominantly Terran player.
Okay. All right, it is Hatch Gas Pool opener here from Dark. Dark is forced to take that forward third base as his natural, thanks to the probe of Hero. Hero going for that low ground wall off. It looks like it is going to be Nexus into Cybercore, so pretty stock standard stuff from both players for the first 2 minutes of the game. Hero not putting anything out on the map just yet. No, I can't remember if it was Pig or someone showed a video of how Hero does his control groups.
Yeah. The one thing for Hero, there have been a few times where he will get caught with no unit in the wall, and Lings will just run by into his base. I think since then he's gotten better about it, but that was the one thing where if I could be critical of Hero, that is where I would absolutely have to be critical. Is he would, for a significant period of time, even when he was on a massive rise and a massive comeback, he would just let Lings into his natural expansion throughout the mid game. It was really bad, and it was like, oh man, you're doing so many good things, and then you let Lings in and you lose like 12 probes, or not even that, he'd lose like 3 probes because he'd micro like a god. But it's still like, you should have lost none. You should have lost none in theory.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, what he does is he's constantly changing his control groups up, and I don't know where this style comes from. It might be an older style, but it's constantly his main army group is either switching from 1 to 9 to 8 to 5, and same with the probes, and like he'll randomly have like 2 observers and a stalker on one group, and it's just constant. It's like, it's actually like watching art in action.
More kind of like a Jackson Pollock painting, if anything. Like just a little bit, you're like, wow, I don't understand this, but it's probably beautiful.
You know, every time me and my fiance go to an art studio, that is exactly how I feel. This is probably beautiful if I understood it.
Wow, I bet someone who's way richer than I am appreciates this a lot more than I do.
All right, that Deb just keeping tabs on things on Dark. It is a Stargate opener. It is going to be Oracle coming out first. That Overlord going to come on in here. Check it out. We'll see the second Overlord coming out as... Sorry, not second Overlord. Second Oracle coming out here. This Adept going to get jumped on by these Lings. We'll take out one of the Lings. Queen's going to help out. It will be able to shade on away and get on out of there. First Oracle is here, getting ready to turn on his pulsar beams. We'll get 1 worker, 2 workers. We'll get 3, he gets 3. We'll get 4, we'll get 4. He gets the 4th one, 5th worker. Nice pickoffs there. Queens will eventually shoot away. It will get on out of there with 25 hit points.
That is a really nice find right there for Hero. Dark getting caught without the double Queen at that third base and no Spore as well. He scouted the Oracle, so that's kind of... I don't want to say inexcusable, but you can't be making those kinds of mistakes. Hero's such a good player, and he does manage to get the punish there. Behind this, it will be the triple Oracle into the Forge in Twilight Council. Not necessarily a big fan of where he's put these because the Overlord is right there, but it's actually going to just get on out of the base. Dark going to choose to keep it alive in lieu of potential Stalkers coming into... well, not Stalkers, but a Stalker coming in and trying to shoo that away. And actually, it does come in and shoos it away, so... you know, maybe he would have gotten a kill anyways. Hero, that is, if Dark had tried to commit. But you're probably expecting a Forge and Twilight Council follow-up anyways. Sorry, go ahead.
Dark is sending his Lings out onto the map. Gonna try to get a little damage done at this third base. There's a double pylon here, but no shield battery. Adepts will warp on in. Oracles will come back to help out and drive these lings away. And behind this, Roach Warren is starting on, about to finish up here for Dark. Dark is continuing to drone quite heavily behind this, getting a few more safety lings. Getting a few more queens as well to deal with anything. It looks like it's going to be Charge Lot. Immortal coming down from the trap here. Getting that charge, getting +1. Charge is about halfway done. Getting that robo facility here.
He's actually just on 3 gases, so I think this might just be straight charge lots, maybe a little bit of Archon damage. We are going to see, ooh, can he get that third Adept? No, it does manage to shade away, but still a nice pick off here for Dark. Hero was able to find a couple of drones once again. Those Oracles being very active, doing a great job with them. Hero, ooh, nice job saving that probe. Now, Dark sees that there is no gases here at this third. And this should let him know that heavy aggression is coming his way. And as I say that, we are going to see Roaches starting on up here. Now, there's no Warp Prism just yet, I don't believe, unless I missed it on the production tab. He does have a robotics facility done. What a random little smattering of Zealots here. Just 6 Zealots going to try and run on in here. The Oracles, what are they going to go for? It's going to be Workers? No, it's going to be a Stasis Ward. He wants to catch these units. We'll lose one of those Oracles. Oh, they actually act as force fields, kind of blocking the Zealots a little bit. And a couple drones going to go down, but I don't think it's enough. Meanwhile, another Stasis Ward in the main base. This one will get a little bit done, gets like 5 or 6 drones. Overall, Hero hits with the weirdest timing, doesn't really get much done with it. And I think Dark is now a little bit ahead. Yeah, I think so. Small income advantage for Hero during this, but ultimately not that big of a deal on either side. Hydra transition coming in from Dark. Is he thinking Lurkers?
I assume so. That would be a nice, like the natural progression of what he's going for here. Especially if it is going to be charge lot heavy, it'd be a nice little transition there for Dark. Now this Warp Prism going to come in here. It looks like it might warp into the main base while we have this charge lot push coming down the middle here. There are Roaches in place to deal with the charge lots. Queens and Spores transferring over to deal with the Warp Prism. One Adept.
Kind of a
what?
Kind of a funny little situation right there. Oh, wow, the Adept. Oh, this is the one that survived earlier. It's actually going to get 2 drones. Can you get a third? No, not quite. This is... Oh, there's no... Wait, the Spore Crawler moved out of position. Why did it move out of the mineral line right there? Hero able to grab like another 5 workers. Still being active with these Oracles. Very nice. Both players getting pretty heavily supply block right there. Hero at 109 and Dark at 128. So kind of, I guess, canceling each other out a little bit. This is such a weird game so far. When you see +2 far along here for Hero, he is transitioning into a second robotics facility. Dark he got that Hydra Den, but okay, just now starting to add on Hydralisks. This is honestly such a strange game from both players. Neither of them really teching up as heavily as I would expect at this point.
All right, Overseer going to come on in here. We'll take a good gander at the main base, sees everything going on. Another charge lot run by coming on in here. Looks like he wants to hit at that third base location, potentially. There are a group of Roach Hydra there. Now, if the charge lots get on top of the Hydras, they're going to go down pretty damn quick. Now, what happened to that Warp Prism? I don't see it anywhere. I see it on the tab, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, it's still alive, so there's that. I do want to point out, by the way, Hero, these charge lots... Oh, they're okay. Oh, he puts it in phase mode, so if he F2s, it doesn't get pulled away. That's a Maru Liberator play right there. Something very smart. I do want to say Hero's done a phenomenal job of keeping the creep spread off the map. That is something that a lot of Protoss players have been very late to adopt and to adapt to. We are going to be seeing this aggressive move coming out. Ooh, warping into the main base. It does go off, and this is so annoying to deal with for a Zerg player, especially while there is a big attack coming in at the front. No significant splash damage here for Hero. He does have +2 and Blink. Will he be able to get something done with this, though? I don't know.
The Templar Archives finished up behind this, so he should be able to get some Archons going, but Dark still dealing with this Zealot run by or warping in the main base. Queen's going to push that Oracle away. This push is going to be kept at bay. Lurker Den is about to finish up here as well. I think Hive just started up for Dark. Dark going to open up some of these rocks to allow for better engagements. And Hero is going to split off some of his army. Going to go for, look like, another charge on run by. More creep clearing coming on in here from Hero. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? That's a lot of Immortals too. It's a nice little counter to the Roach heavy army. Although that is a lot of Hydras. Nice force fields there. Will shave off a few of those Zerg units. The reinforcements on the right will chase off the Zealots.
Those are really cool force fields, the way that Hero is utilizing them. So he's not trying to, and he's doing this on purpose, make no mistake. He is not trying to pair the force fields up to make a perfect wall. He's trying to make an imperfect wall to break up the concave of Dark. Because Dark doesn't have any Zerglings in that army, so he doesn't need to keep the army completely split off. Oh, the Zealots, that huge Zealot hit squad on the right side will get found by this big Roach Hydra ball of Dark, and that is going to be a nice cleanup here. But Hero is going to look to punish these units as they are off creep. Big attack, though, coming in on the left side for Dark. A lot of Roach Hydra moving across the map, and Hero will most likely be forced to recall. He is trying to transition into Disruptors and a big late-game carrier transition, I believe. But we're going to need to see a recall, like, right now.
All right, that Cybernex core is going to go down. Recall does come on in. He is going to take out the...
Disruptor!
Just as the Disruptor pops up, but it doesn't matter. Disruptor doesn't get his shot off. Will go down. Second Disruptor does come in here. It moves, or move commands to its death, but this will be cleaned up here by Hero. And
oh, sorry, go on.
No, you go ahead.
No, that was a massive, massive amount of army that Dark just threw away. He did kill a lot of workers there, but Hero's now ahead in supply after being kind of down in supply for a long time. Roach Hydra, it's so easy to think you're like, Roaches, they're not that expensive, but they're not that cheap either. And when you throw away that many of them and the Hydras to boot, that is a really expensive set of losses. And we see that the resources loss is pretty even, but now I would say Hero... I mean, he's going into Tempest, which is a little bit funky. They are, in theory, more versatile units. Actually, no, Carriers are, at least in this matchup, Carriers are king. They're just so good.
All right.
But the Tempest will get out faster, and he's trying to rally forward with them.
Dark there with a nice snipe on the Oracle, helping to prevent one form of detection on these 11 Lurkers that he has morphed in. He is also getting Vipers as well. I like the use of Vipers, especially for the Immortals and the... what's that thing called? The Disruptor balls there. Now, sieged up nicely. It's going to be hard for Hero to engage into this with those Lurkers there. He does have detection, but that is also a lot of Lurkers. Now, Dark's base here will get found and will get canceled. Half the army is gonna rotate around to the other side. There are Tempests there. And yeah, Dark is being forced into a split defense here.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a pain to deal with. We don't have the Vipers just yet. Oh, those Disruptor shots, they will get dodged right there by the Unburrow. These Lurkers, do they have their adaptive talons? I think they might. They're not as strong as they used to be, but they are still quite valuable. We do have 2-1 upgrades here for Dark versus +3 weapons. 3-2 is on the way for Hero, and there come those Vipers. Now okay, Hero needs to get out of there as soon as he sees these Vipers. Tempest will get abducted, and a couple of Disruptors. 2 Tempests, 2 Disruptors getting deleted right there. Storm is going to complete. A couple of drones going down on a weird, awkward transfer. Hero going to try and rotate around this army, but there are a couple of Lurkers and Spines. Hero needs to kind of back away. And I think now that those Vipers are out, you don't want to be going Tempests anymore, but he's full committing. He's building 4 Tempests at a time. Huge Storm on those Hydras.
All right, Storm does dissipate there. Another Storm coming down will deal with that one forward Lurker. Spore Crawlers being repositioned. Nice yoink on that one Tempest. That Tempest going down pretty damn quick. These Vipers still doing quite a bit of damage here to the army of the Protoss. 14 workers going down in total now. Another yoink, this time an Archon and another Tempest. All the Tempests have been taken off the map here. Spire is coming down behind this. Immortal coming on in. It's not so immortal anymore. Another Storm coming in. That Storm largely misses everything except for the Spore Crawler. And Hero just going to rotate back here into the middle, wait for another Tempest to show up, and take another base behind this.
I really don't like that Hero is still out here. He's just waiting for those Vipers to recharge energy, and he keeps getting these huge power units just abducted into lurkers. He needs to be looking for, you know, more rotations. He was doing a really good job of splitting his army up and looking around the map, but now that Dark has gotten into lurkers, he's actually kind of stopped doing that and has focused all of his units together. Now, I'd love to see these seismic destabilizers getting researched here. Ooh, another 2 Tempests getting abducted. He almost loses multiple High Templar to those lurkers. He's trying to cover them. We'll move forward with a couple of Mortals. That is... the army movement and like execution is very nice from Hero, but I gotta say I'm not a big fan necessarily of the overall decision making.
All right, this Hydra army here will catch those stalkers out of position. Looks like he's gonna try to come in here yet again. Lurkers do siege on up. Observer does show up here, so he should be able to take out a lurker or two with those Tempests, but not... Ooh, catches a base on the bottom right side there. That Archon gonna...
It soaks a lot of shots right there. Well, that was actually really good for Hero. That soaked so many lurker spines right there, and now we're gonna see Hero actually breaking through on this top side. The Hydras... Oh, they're trying to counterattack right now. Okay, this will force have a recall, and that's kind of a good thing. Oh, but the High Templar with their storms are going to be able to clear out these Hydras so efficiently. We are going to see actually most of the nice little last second split right there from Dark. He is going to be able to take out all the High Templar. Zealot Warpins will clean up the rest of this, but that actually goes a lot better for Dark than I expected. But Zealot Warpin, like I said, will deal with that. Corruptors coming on out now are going to be able to deal with a couple of straggling Tempests.
All right. Important to note, he is getting Hero is getting +2 and still continuing to produce Tempest behind this, even with the Corruptors out. Yeah, we're not seeing any sort. 12 Tempests have gone down so far this game. That's kind of pricey.
It's very expensive. Yeah, both players have lost a lot of stuff in this game. We do see that Dark is a little bit more cost efficient overall, losing quite a bit less gas, but Hero did kill off one of his bases. This is so funny. They're both saying, like, we don't want the 6 and 12 o'clock bases respectively, or those bases in the middle. Hero maybe could be taking those. He's taking the ones on the far right, and Dark trying to take the ones on the far left. We do see a lot of Corruptors here. Storm does get a little bit of damage on them, and he's going to be able to cover cover against a dive on those Tempest. This is a cool army synergy from Hero.
All right, Archon's going to try to jump on Storm. It comes down. Archon does move forward. Will drive those Corruptors back. The static D here being chipped away by these Tempests. And Dark, of course, is essentially just trying to deal with this right here, right now. He is being sieged into his natural. Hero decides to move up the ramp, then decides not to. More static D going to come down here. And Dark just going to rotate around, try to find another angle of attack here.
Finally, that tectonic destabilizer is being built here. Hero could have built it like 7 or 8 minutes ago, but he does get it now. Of course, it is, you know, only good against buildings. Oh, that changed. He didn't. Okay, he does recognize it. Good. Revelation comes on in. He's going to be able to use these High Templar to zone out any potential Vipers. Also, he's got the Storms available. Hero's doing such a good job. Like, once again, I was critical of the decision-making, but the execution is so good that he might just be able to break through overall. Now, a nice concave of lurkers. You still got to be careful about that as Hero. And these are +3 lurkers, so they pack a punch.
All right, this base here will go down. Dark gonna unsiege and move forward and try to jump on top of this army. Disruptor shots coming on in. Does take out a couple of those lurkers. Lurkers also on the south side showing up here. Corruptor is gonna jump on top of these Tempests here. One Tempest going down. Nice feedback on that Viper, and Dark will disengage.
Yeah, that went towards the tail end. That was very, very scary for Hero, but it actually went well for him in the net. He kills off that base, which is very big because Dark's been broke for a while. His bases on the right side are all undisturbed. He's taking that base in the middle now, that kind of pocket base, and he's adding on more and more Tempest. Hero is doing a really cool job here. He is... this is such an interesting composition that he's elected to go for, and you can see it kind of represented in his army upgrades. +3 weapons, +3 shields on the way, and +3 air. No armor whatsoever to speak of, just those shield upgrades. And now we see those big fireballs coming out. The tectonic destabilizers absolutely trucks static defenses.
All All right. Looks like
Oh,
Hero
the
here.
Tempest.
Oh, nice yoink there. Does take out one Tempest. And yeah, it looks like he's going to rotate around here, try to get to these fresher, newer bases that are still in production for Dark. Going to jump on top of this base. We'll get a kill, not a cancel. And might be able to get a base kill here as well. Does take out that extractor. This base does just finish on up. Archon's going to move forward here. Workers are being pulled off the line. He's going to give up that one base. And looks like Dark is all in, going to move his lurkers across the map.
Yeah, this is a bit of a desperation move right now from Dark. He knows he can't really fight this army easily. Ooh, he's going to try and come in for the flank from the back. The Archons and High Templar are out of position. Parasitic Bomb going to come on in these Tempests. He can't really afford to lose these like this. Storms are going to try and cover this, but he's going to lose all of the oh my god, the Storms are devastating on the Corruptors. Absolutely just wrecking them right there. And Dark's army supply plummets. GG is going to get called. Hero suddenly and without mercy annihilates those units and will take the game.
We got game number 2 loading on up. Hero on match point. Spawning in the bottom left in the yellow Zerg pieces for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. We have Dark.
And his opponent spawning up the top right, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming as well. It is Hero in the blue. That's what I'm saying. People in the chat were like, oh, Dark's gonna stomp Hero. Hero's so bad. Oh, Creator's the best Protoss in the world. Steadfast doesn't know what he's talking about. That's not to say that Creator's not playing extraordinarily well. I am actually Creator's biggest fan. Like, I am so happy. It's been like literally like 12 years in the making, and he is finally able to break through that like GSL early stages stuff. Like he's finally making it happen. I'm so happy for him. And you can see the emotion on his face after every single win. I really hope that this is the magical run, the Cinderella story that we've been waiting for.
Now, of course, you make a comment about chat, and Beowulf takes it personally.
And I took that personally.
Yeah. Only Beowulf will take that personally. All right, Nexus into Cybercore here. Again, Hero does force Dark to take the third base for his natural. Dark deciding to take the linear third instead. Hatch ass pool coming up from Dark here. Oh my god, something's wrong with my brain. This probe here just gonna be a little nuisance, and pretty normal stuff again for the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, nothing particularly out of the ordinary here. Now, we're going to be keeping paying attention for example, will Dark go for a Speedling Flood here? So this is what we're just seeing. Oh, wow, he almost gets that probe. Oof, nice maneuvering from Hero, though. Going to be able to keep that alive. That's a big compliment, by the way, from Dark. So in theory, against that probe harass, you can just counter it by spam clicking on the worker paths. And that's what I try to do, but my old man hands, they're like, no, you're too slow. Don't even try. You're not going to be able to keep up. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point, brain. And so I do what Dark does. I just put a drone on that. But these high-level players, ooh, nice job. He gets the probe. Drops the pylon, which is a little bit funky. But with 4 lings and a drone, yeah, you will kill that pylon off very quickly. So it doesn't actually slow that down like much at all. But yeah, that's a big compliment, forcing that reaction out. Ooh, we are going to see the Creep Tumor. Oh, it just barely gets enough HP. So Creep Tumors have 50 HP. But it is, of course, going up while it is building. That might have been down at 1 or 2 HP as that second adept shot comes in. They do 44 damage, so it's just shy of killing it. I don't know what the exact timing is that you need to fire the shots at, but I'm sure you can do the math. It's probably something like 12 seconds into its production, and any later and it takes 3 shots.
That is a job for a mathematician. That's just too much math for me.
Yeah, right?
All right, Adept going to be a nuisance here, just in the middle, waiting for drone transfers. Trying to see if we can catch anything off there. Gonna shade on in here.
He's looking around. Dark is kind of not taking that seriously. There is ling speed done, so he's going to be able to get on out of here. Ooh, this time there is a Spore in the third base, and the Queen's actually intercepting very nicely. It is important to note that at first Oracle got 5 drones. So not getting that damage, I mean, that's obviously just a much better situation for Hero. Dark going for a very quick layer, and I believe that is that the natural or the third? Doesn't put it in the main.
All right, double oracles do join up. I think it's at the natural. I don't see it coming at the third. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, no, it's at the natural. That's so there's not much creep here, so it's going to be difficult to zone out this very early scout. This could be a Nidus one. There's a very real possibility. We are going to see these oracles. They find one of the queens right there, and that will allow them to go after these workers, getting 3 drones right there. Oh, and he could dart into the natural. Oh, got to be careful. He is going to get that one. Oh my God, he gets away. Oh, that
one hit point on that one oracle left.
That talking about horseshoes up the butt, man. That is a lucky oracle right there. And he starts to forge in the Twilight Council after seeing this.
Yeah, and we had a Void Ray come out behind the 2 oracles here, so it looks like the Void Ray and the 2 oracles going to move on out again. Void Ray did miss the one Overlord off to the side of his main base. So
that's a big deal because it is going to be a Nidus worm.
Yeah, Nidus incoming here. Ling's going to jump into the front here, try to get on in. There is an Orc Adept in the wall. 2 more Adepts are going to get warped in here. Lings will eventually back off.
I can't believe after seeing that early of a layer and knowing who Dark is as a player, he still goes for that Forge and Twilight Council. You have to be expecting something like a Nidus Worm. Now, where is the Nidus going to come on in? Okay, he's not going to drop into the main base. It will be into the natural. Hero's got no idea. He's trying to get into charge, which if he could get into it, that would be phenomenal. But this attack isn't hitting in a minute and a half. It's hitting now.
All right, Queen's getting into the Nidus here. Looks like it is going to pop out relative zoom. Now, this Overlord also moving in. This almost feels like a distraction to the front. Drop the Nidus in the main and then get... Oh my God, the wall. There's nothing in the wall.
That is such a problem right here. We are going to see 2 of these gateways getting depowered. And I don't know if there's any more production right now for Hero. I think he's just straight up dead. We are going to see the Immortal staying alive for the moment, but 13 probes already going down. That already puts Dark ahead. Nice V-wall. This is all going to come down to chaos control to crisis management. The Nidus Worm in the main base does get denied, so if Hero can continue to buy time, I mean, eventually he will get that charge off. And that's going to be very good against this. This is predominantly just... Actually, no, it's entirely just Ling Queen. There's only 2 gases on this. This is fully committed from Dark, but as I say that, he is droning up behind it. He will kill that Nexus at the natural. And Dark's... Yeah, he's droning up behind us. He's going to be transitioning. And this is already such a good position. He still might kill 2 bases with this.
All right, natural does go down. 2 more gateways going down. The production has been taken out. And there is also a lot of creep here that Dark Hero will have to clear up. Ling's going to jump down to the 3rd base here. Nice little nook there for the unit. Decent force field. Lings will kind of back off there and just start nibbling away at the Nexus. Going to rotate around. Looks like the Queens are heading back into the Nidus Worm. There we go. Revelation comes down, clears up a lot of this creep. One of those Nidus Worms will go down. There is another Nidus behind that. I'm not sure if he noticed that. There's also a creep tumor there as well that he hasn't quite taken care of. That will prevent that wall from being remade. Now, Dark is going up to 4 bases. Overseer going to come on in, get a full scout out of what's going on. And it looks like a charge lot drop is heading on the other side of the map here. That will get scouted by the Lings. I'm not sure if Dark saw that. Finally, this does get cleaned up thanks to the Oracles. There is a 1 creep tumor. Revelation will clean it up as well. And after all said and done, yeah, Dark is firmly ahead in terms of economy, in terms of army, getting the tech as well. Roach Warren is finished up here. It will get Roach speed going. Roaches are charge lots are going to jump into the mineral line here. We'll get a force to pick up and going to rotate on out. That War Prism losing all its shield, going to come to the natural here and just kind of hide out.
Hero has 1 chance in this game and he's going for it. And it is going to be a big charge lot Archon with a couple of Immortals smattered in. But Dark got the scout so early on here. Hero, almost having that 1 Immortal pinched off. He is going to go for a 3rd Nexus behind this rebuild. But make no mistake, this should be a big dedication. He might be trying to fake Dark out right now with that Nexus. He's not building any more probes. He's only on 44. He's going to go for Storm. And he restarts probe production. This is kind of a strange decision. Maybe it's in response to scouting that huge Roach ball. And I actually, you know what? I actually kind of like this because Dark has already reacted as though the attack is coming on in. And Hero's starting to get some good damage done. Hero knows that in a normal game from that position, he shouldn't be able to win here. But if he can get some good harassment while getting his opponent to go for a big army such that Dark feels like he has to go for an attack, because of course Roach Ravager on a maxed out composition against a high Protoss army supply is not necessarily the greatest situation. Oh man, Hero finding more damage with these Oracles. He's actually doing a really good job of trying to claw his way back. I like the way that Hero is playing this. He's setting himself up for a potential comeback in a really, really desperate and dire situation. But Swarm Hosts, they are going to be a nightmare to deal with right now.
Yeah, especially with the Night Swarm there. He doesn't really have much to deal with. Swarm Host doesn't have the Colossi. Does have a High Templar with Storm, so should be able to use that, and maybe the Archons. But those Immortals are going to be dead to rights once those Swarm Hosts pop and the first Locusts do come on out. Now, it is ideal that those Swarm Hosts don't show themselves before they make their way to the other side of the map. Gonna warp in another round of charge loss. Gonna clear up a little bit of creep here. Nice storm there. Good splays. Gonna jump on top of one of the High Templar. One High Templar going down. Another round of storm. There's just a lot of Zerg here to deal with. And this Protoss army is starting to get whittled down. Gonna chase him down the ramp. I believe there's no storms left. Gonna force them morph into Archons. And Dark just gonna back on off here.
Yeah, I was kind of really hoping that we were going to see Hero just sit back and play defensive after that. He still, like, the attack kind of looked scary initially, but like you said, there was just so much Zerg right there for Dark. And now those Swarm Hosts, they did have to be used defensively initially, but they really put the damper on that attack, and there was not a whole lot that Hero could do from that position. I really feel like if he had just continued to harass, he would have needed to find those Locusts and deal with the first wave initially, which is so difficult when you're on the composition that he is against against Swarm Host Nidus. And speaking of which, we are going to see these units coming into the natural expansion. They will get dealt with pretty well. Worker-wise, Hero's in not that bad of a spot, but he's going to have such a difficult time keeping raising his army supply up or ever taking a fourth base.
All right, saw something there we don't see too often, and that is a Bile Shot taking out a Void Ray. We don't want the Night Storm coming down at that third base. Looks like another wave of Locusts coming on in. While that's going down, Dark is pushing into the natural. This is kind of the way you play Swarm Host. You drop the Swarm Host, pull the Swarm Host away, then you go in with your Roach Ravager army. Gonna jump on top of this third base. Shield battery overcharge being popped. It does not matter. That base is gonna go to the afterlife really damn quick. Knock back down to 2
sent that to the Shadow Realm.
It's actually amusing how fast Locust and Corruptors, when they do that caustic spray, how fast that
big storms. Oh.
Storm's good unit. Transfuses coming down, saving a few of those queens. Gonna refocus here and try to attack from multiple angles.
Oh, are there any storms available? This is a huge arc. Hero is so far on creep. Nice snipe on the one High Templar that was close to storm. And now we are going to see the Archons morphing in. Immortals are great against Roach Ravager, especially with +2 weapons, soon to be +3. And those Locusts actually getting fired out from very far away. Hang on! Despite the army supply, nah, 7 Immortals are good, but they're not that good.
All right, Bile's going to come raining down. Going to jump on top of the remaining Immortals here. 2 Immortals going down. GG gets called Dark. Tying things up, we're going to game number 3. All right, just admit it. You're betraying your Zerg brethren and going over to the Protoss side, spawning in the bottom left corner of 2,000 atmospheres in the gold Zerg pieces. We have Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark.
And his opponent spawning up at the top right. Representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming as well in this civil war, it is Hero in the blue. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm like harping on how well Hero is playing, but Dark is doing a really good job. That Nidus Worm was a great decision in game number 2. Game number 1, he was things didn't exactly go well for him, but I feel like you do surrender a little bit of agency when you go for lurkers. You're kind of telling your opponent, okay, you get to do what you want to do on your side of the map, and I'm just kind of like setting up defenses. I'm hoping you attack into me. I'm, you know, abducting units where I can, which he did a great job of. Don't get me wrong. But you're, like I said, you're surrendering agency just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the lurkers being a bit of a siege unit and having to deal with them on your side of the map. Yeah, not able to get onto the other side. The only time he did get over to the other side was that last-ditch attempt at the very end of the game when he sieged up the, was it the bottom right base there, which actually should have been one of his bases.
Yeah, that was a very funny situation overall. A cool situation, though. Now, we are going to be seeing... Well, what are we going to be seeing? That is the big question here. Hero, he didn't really respond even though he saw that relatively quick layer. Now, it's easy to forget that Zerg does have aggressive options because so few players utilize them effectively. Dark, though, is one of those players who will absolutely utilize those aggressive moves early. For example, like that Nidus Worm, which is what we saw and what got him into such a phenomenal position. Hero needs to, I don't know, maybe be a little bit more attentive to the scouting, or just kind of remember that he's playing against, you know, a bit of a madman in Dark.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It almost does feel like he, even with that first game there, just continuing to siege on in that one corner there, knowing what Dark is capable of. It was actually kind of surprising to see that Hero stuck to it. I'm almost wondering if he knows he's playing against Dark, or maybe he put Dark and mixed Dark and another player's up on his what's it called? His control groups.
You never know. Look at that. Hero hiding the Adept shade. He's like, you don't get to see this, Overlord. But then he actually, or well, hiding the Adept, but then he actually does show it. Now, the Stalker should be, will it get the kill? Ooh, that's actually really nice. He wasn't able to get this in the previous game. And Dark actually very late. He was actually supply blocked naturally as a result of this. He was already late on those Overlords, but now he is going to be supply blocked for a while. That's actually really big in this early game. That scout on the Oracle is, of course, great, but damn, this is a lot of information. We do see the double gas at the natural before taking that third Nexus. Oracle is going to get on in here. We'll get a couple of drones, which is obviously very nice, but Hero might be going for a much bigger tech dedication in this game than he's gone for in the previous games. And there it is, second Stargate. Ooh, this is a lot of options. This could be Mass Oracle. This could be double Stargate Phoenix. This could be Void Rays, but I honestly hope it's not. And there we go. The Phoenix comes down. Let's go, Hero.
All right, Phoenix Blade, not something we see too often in this matchup. I find that Phoenix is usually saved more so for the PvP and the PvT matchups here. So interesting to see how that will go down. Ling's here trying to get some damage done, trying to get either into the main. There is a Stalker in the wall here that should be able to deal with this. Adept warping in behind it. Oracle being brought back home via recall. Lings will run on away here. And yeah, he's just continuing to drone behind this. Double Phoenix production starting on up here for Hero. Dark just droning behind this, droning heavily, getting that third base up and running. No tech down just yet.
No, certainly not. And this double Stargate Phoenix play is such a fun style to watch and fun style to play. Now, of course, it does come down to very good control. Oh, speaking of good control, we are going to see a couple of drones getting picked off by this Oracle, recognizing there's no queens there, and he's able to pick off a couple of those workers on the gas. Dark going to be going for all 5 of his additional gases at once to really suddenly and without mercy switch into his tech. A classic Zerg move. Very good stuff right there. We are going to see, oh, Oracle will get deflected once more. Dark has no idea that it's double Stargate Phoenix, and that is a bit of a problem. He needs to figure this out.
All right, 6 Phoenix are out already. 2 more coming out. going up to 8. Phoenix Fire starting up. I hope he is not going to make Mutas, but I'm pretty sure those Phoenix will show themselves before those Mutas even get a chance to be made here. Yeah, this Oracle just being a nuisance here, trying to get more kills, trying to get more damage done. I think those Lings may have caught those Phoenix. Here we go, going to pick up that Queen here. We'll take out one Queen. Going to take out a bunch of potential overloads. Another Queen going down here. Picking up a third Queen. This is starting to snowball here a little bit. Nice stasis trap on the one Roach. Taking out an Overlord as well. Going to take out a second Overlord. These Overlords going down pretty damn quick. That's 3 Overlords there now going down. And he's just going to rotate over and come back in for a little more damage. This time around, potentially going to get drones. There we go. He's going to pick up the drones in the gas. 3 drones going down.
This is like you mentioned, really nice start for Hero.
6.
Oh, and more Overlords. Oh, my God.
This is, as a Zerg player, this is one of the most annoying things having to deal with. But, you know, Hero going to be a little bit of a friend, help clear up some of that supply, kill us 3 more workers there. Dark did try to get something done on the other side with those Lings. They were deflected. And another Overlord, another 2 Overlords about to go down here. Nope, decides not to go after it. Takes out 3 more workers. There's an Immortal and Stalker here in the field. Will deflect that Ling and Roach push coming on in. Oracle finally going down here. A little bit of a mistake, I think, going down to the Queens and the Spore Crawler there. But these Lings here are going to get picked up. Watching Phoenix pick up Lings is also quite comical. 13 drones going so far for only, oh my God, that trade efficiency.
That was the first unit loss. This is a zest little bit of magical memery coming on in. Now the Corruptors do pop out. They can deal with Phoenixes very well. Hero is transitioning into ground behind us. He's got Blink on the way. +1 weapons is quite far along. Trying to go for that War Prism, but he really wanted to get a free pick off on that 4th. Wise decision to not attack in there. You never want to get flooded by a bunch of Zerglings just as you're transitioning into a ground armor. You don't have a lot of production. You don't have a lot of reinforcements. In fact, no reinforcements with no War Prism. So wise decision to back away there initially. But as the War Prism comes out, he is going to go for a dedicated push on this 4th base. And it's going to be tough to stop it.
All right.
These are slow roaches.
Yeah, speed hasn't started. It hasn't even started up yet. All right, Phoenix will float into the Corruptors. They're decent force fields there, keeping a good part of that RB down. Bunch of Queens going down. This base here will go down dead to rights. Lings are about to pop there. A little precarious there. Not enough Zerg here nearly to deal with this. A lot of the supply for the Zerg is caught up in the Corruptors, and the Corruptors can't really do much to this ground army here. More Lings and Roaches and Ravagers coming on up. Roach speed starting up now. It's about 1/3 of the way done. But the push is, again, like still here. He needs to jump on that War Prism. Does take out, I believe, another Oracle there. Zerg going to jump on top of this army. File's going to miss largely. And he looks like hunting for that War Prism, but the Stalkers might just be too much to deal with this. Might be able to clean these Roach Ravager up here. The Immortal does eventually go down. 1 Roach at the end, they're being picked off.
That does end up being an expensive trade for both sides. Obviously, the Immortal going down. We see the War Prism. Actually, I think it might have escaped to the top left. I think it did get away, which is kind of nice. But the important thing to note is that Dark's economy, he's only on those 3 bases. Hero finished up his 4th. He's getting into Disruptors. He's getting into +2 weapons. Corruptors are going to be deflected on the other side. So there was something kind of interesting right there. Dark wanted to move to the right side and pick off bases with the caustic spray, but because Hero was still threatening with the main army, and the Phoenixes were a part of that main army, he needed to keep the Corruptors back, and that was actually a really, really big pivotal moment that allows Hero to kind of re-secure that base and really solidify this transition into ground. As he gets those Disruptors on the way, the Phoenixes have, I would say, pretty much outlived their usefulness. You love to keep them alive and, you know, threaten to pick off drones and Overlords and Overseers and everything like that. Right now, I'm massively favoring Hero's position, and if he pushes with +2 weapons, and like 4, 5, 6 Disruptors, this is going to be a nightmare to deal with for Dark. And in fact, he might just push right now.
Yeah, that push is incoming. That base is going to get canceled. Phoenix will come on in, will get repelled by the Corruptors, but after those Phoenix are gone, these Corruptors are largely dead weight for the Zerg player. Most he could do with it is harass and try to piss on some of those buildings. Looks like Hero also taking that half base with the rich Vespene Geyser here. Push gonna come back in here, gonna pick up a couple of the queens. One queen going down, second queen almost goes down. Corruptors come back in, can't fight over the Stalkers, will pull back. Another queen going down here. That's a lot of queens going down for Dark. Dark also, creep spread hasn't kept back quite a bit here. Hasn't been able to spread at all to the right. Corruptor, one Corruptor, two Corruptors going down for free to the Stalkers. Disruptor shots coming on in, gonna zone those Roach Raptor away. Dark gonna try to come on in here, picks off one Stalker, gonna try to focus down one of those Disruptors. Does get one Disruptor, does lose all his Phoenix behind his Immortal going down. Second Disruptor going down. And for now, Dark holds, but he loses the base on the top left as well. Dark's economy, like you mentioned, is in shambles here.
Yeah, Hero's on 5 bases to 3 right now. The whole, so this into, oh, Disruptor shots are going to come on in, and they're going to connect. And before they even go off, it is going to be GG getting typed out. All of a sudden, it ends. But the big deal of that whole push was that the 4th base went down for Dark again. Nothing you can do about that. And once again, we see why Hero, why everyone is so excited about this guy and why his return has really felt like a herald of Protoss. He is just so damn good. And we are now guaranteed a Protoss in the round of 8. No IEM Katowice syndrome here.